Hey fish friends, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Zenzo with Tazawa Tanks. Kind of feels weird saying that. I haven't really said that in a while. I have kind of taken a short break from making YouTube videos, so you might have noticed there hasn't been a release in a few weeks. I've been so focused on work and other things, and also recent videos that we released on this channel. Matt was filming when we were kind of out on location, so it's been a while since I've been in here in this fish room saying, hey fish friends. Today, I kind of want to take it back. How far back? Kind of back to the beginning. African cichlids. Now you can see the logo on the wall. African cichlid. This channel kind of was founded and based on African cichlids, and they do happen to be one of my favorite fish and probably my favorite aquarium fish. What I want to talk about today, because I'm dealing with something that I don't see a lot of content on. You don't hear a lot of people talking about this, and it's been a while since I've talked about it, and that's fish kind of aging out, dying. How long do they live? Here in this fish room, I've got lots of different aquariums. I've got lots of tanks with cichlids, lots of African cichlids. You may have noticed, or you will notice that some of the fish that I have don't look so great anymore. And you might even notice that there might be one or two missing. That kind of prompted me to want to make this video and kind of talk about it. Now, before I get into talking about that, I do want to pause right here and thank the sponsor of this video, Into the AM. I love these shirts. You might notice me wearing these different t-shirts all the time. They're so comfortable, they're well fitted, and they just have some amazing designs. So thank you to Into the AM for sponsoring this video. Into the AM is a team of artists and creators that formed an apparel company to share a common vision of developing premium apparel that elevates self-expression while focusing on comfort by using the highest quality materials and eco-friendly inks. Into the AM has dozens of cool designs to choose from, covering many categories including t-shirts and tank tops, hoodies and jackets, hats, and even joggers and shorts. Use the link and discount code below to shop at Into the AM and find your clothing piece to express what drives you. Now, when it comes to my African cichlids, I noticed that, yeah, some of these aren't looking so great. I had a couple that just kind of degraded and passed away, and it got me thinking, like, how old are they and how long do they live? I'm fortunate enough to be able to go back and look at old YouTube videos and see specific fish that I've kept and how long I've had them. Some of the fish go back to 2016. In fact, one that passed away about 2 weeks ago was in a video from early 2016, so that was about 8 years. And even the youngest fish that I've purchased goes back about 5 or 6 years. So there are a lot of older fish in there. There are a couple fish that are younger because, I have a couple females and I saved a couple of fry and grew them out. But fish do get old. They are gonna pass away at some point in time, or you'll have to put them down. Generally, like African cichlids, depending on how you care for them, it depends on the water quality, the food that you're feeding. They can live, a lot of people have like 4 or 5 years. I've seen people keep them like 6, 7, 8 years, sometimes longer. I know people that have had fish that live 10 years or longer. It really depends on like how they're kept, the aggression, all those kind of things. Now, a couple of things that I feel have benefited me is having the ability to have, tanks and separate them if there is a kind of aggression issues. Obviously, the ability of feeding some very high quality foods, which is always great, and a varied diet. Water parameters are important. So I happen to do very frequent water changes. In the past, people would give me a hard time about doing water changes too frequently. But the fact that I have fish that live 7 or 8 years and still alive just shows that, good water quality is important. And then other things that are important are what you're adding into the water, how you're treating the water. I like to use my Fritz buffer and cichlid salt. So these are both designed for African cichlids to kind of mimic Lake Malawi. I'll also use them for Lake Tanganyikan fish, and it just gives them the necessary minerals and essential things that you want to have in the water to replicate the Rift Lake chemistry and just give a better life for your fish. So anyway, I think what I'll do is I'm going to grab the camera and walk over to the tank, and let's look at some of the fish a little bit closer. You can see some of the things that I'm talking about. You might have like a fish that's blind. You might have a fish that kind of has like some scales missing or a sunken belly, and it doesn't look great on camera, but I do like to be transparent and kind of show you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and show you a fish that's 8 years old and how they look now, and how much longer are they going to live. It's kind of a tough thing, but let's go ahead and grab the camera and go over and check them out. All right, so we're over here at the 90-gallon peacock tank, And this is a 5-foot tank, so it gives, you know, a little bit more space on like a 75-gallon aquarium or even like a conventional 90. So having that extra foot is nice for, you know, having more swimming area. So here we can see like this guy. So this fish goes back to 2016. So that fish right there is about 8 years old. We can see that there's some cloudiness in the eyes. The body's a little bit skinnier. Obviously, it's kind of lower down on the totem pole as far as the hierarchy is concerned. So probably, you know, gets a little bit more aggression, you know, towards him, where we can see this guy right here is about 5 or so years old, you know, big dominant male. And we can see, you know, this fish, I think I've had about 6 or so years. Same with that fish there. This guy right here is probably about 5 or 6 years old. Same with this one here. So, yeah, some of these are kind of in their prime. Some of them, like this old dude, is getting older, right? So, you know, this one hides a lot. Still eats, still is out and about and active, but definitely not nearly as active as it used to be. And that's sad. You know, it's sad for me to see the fish in that condition, but also realizing that, you know, I've done my best to provide a good life. And, you know, I fed him well. I can say him because I know it's a male, but I fed him well and took care of him. He never had, you know, poor water quality or anything like that. And, you know, that's my responsibility as a fish owner to make sure I'm taking care of them. But also, you know, realizing that at some point he's going to pass on. So, you know, that part is a little bit difficult. But anyway, I wanted to kind of, you know, talk about this, show some of the different fish, show what an older African cichlid looks like, how they age, the fact that they're not always going to be this awesome, giant, solid unit of a fish that just kind of dominates a tank, and that, you know, at some point in time you're going to have kind of an old dude. So this is kind of like the senior citizen in here, and you know, unfortunately he's in with some of the crazier males, so it's a little bit tough. I do have a couple females. Here's a female right here. Looks like she's not holding, a little bit younger. I do have, so let's talk about females. So I do have down here, you can't see in the hole, but there's a female that's just kind of chilling in that little cave over there. So down here I have another female in this quarantine tank, and she's hiding up in that little tube up there. So both of those females are holding. So the reason why I pulled them out is knowing, yeah, these fish are getting older. You know, I'm going to need to replenish them. I don't want to, you know, go out and buy a bunch of new fish. So obviously I know that they have good genetics from these guys. And so those females that are holding will eventually spit their fry, and then I'll have a new generation of fish to grow out. And then they can live another 7 or 8 years. So anyway, yeah, this is kind of the reality of keeping fish. You know, they don't live forever. And sadly, you know, our pets, you know, pass on before us, but our job is to give them the best possible life that we can for them until their time comes up. Yeah, so there you have it. You know, just kind of, again, full transparency, showing you what, you know, healthy, robust fish look like, what older fish look like that aren't doing as well anymore. I also want to do some more African cichlid content. It is something that I used to get really excited about, and obviously I have lots of different types of fish in here, but I do love my cichlids, so look forward to some more cichlid content down the road. But with that, thanks for watching. Hopefully all of you had a nice holiday. Happy New Year to all of you out there as well. If you're wondering why this video wasn't as expertly edited as my others in the past couple of years, it's because Matt, my editor, is on vacation, and I wanted to make this content and get it out here for all of you, and so he got me editing it this time. So anyway, have a great holiday. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out this other video over here. We'll catch you on the next one.